right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Upgrades at the Dome, leading to greener pastures.
2025 is going to be one of the most epic convention calendar years.
The big changes benefiting St. Louis.
I'm watching spotty showers, isolated thunderstorms tonight into Friday morning. Most areas staying dry, and I'll also have that weekend forecast.
Our top story, drivers in distress. Rideshare services facing violence in the city.
You can't trust no one.
Tonight, riders and drivers react. We want to thank you for joining us at 10 tonight. I'm Brent Solomon. Mike and Kelly have the night off. In just the past 4 days, St. Louis police have investigated at least 3 crimes against rideshare or delivery drivers, most of them caught in the middle of gunfire. New tonight, Robert Townsend is live downtown talking with riders and even a rideshare driver. Fill us in, Robert.
Hey, Brent, you know, downtown is definitely one popular spot for lots of rideshare and food delivery drivers. Now, the recent violence against some of those drivers is definitely on the minds of many. St. Louis police say around midnight Sunday, 4 teens robbed a food delivery driver on North 20th Street in North City. Tuesday, an innocent 25-year-old woman told police she was delivering food to a hotel in Midtown when she got caught in the crossfire of a shooting and suffered a gunshot wound to her thigh. And police are still searching for the shooter in an attempted carjacking of a rideshare driver downtown near Ballpark Village Wednesday night. The victim said he was on Market Street when a car pulled up and a passenger tried to carjack one of his friends. The rideshare driver shot during a struggle.
That's not good.
We caught up with Gann, a part-time ride-share driver for the past 5 years on the job downtown.
This is really good for us. It is help for us. It's make a good money.
And while he enjoys his job, the violence against drivers now has him thinking twice about his safety.
Ready? I have 2 phones. I'm ready to 911. Yeah, that's my first priority.
It's convenient, and we've never had an issue with it.
We also met people who regularly take ride shares. Mike West is in town from California.
It's convenient. If I don't need to take my car and park it at the airport, for example, pay a boatload of money, it's a lot less expensive to have an Uber to and from.
Downtown resident Melinda Smith is not a fan of ride sharing.
None at all. I don't trust riding with anyone.
Norma Johnson's visiting from Chicago. She has this advice for drivers trying to serve the public.
Definitely be very careful. Keep your doors locked. I would say roll the windows down halfway.
Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Time now for your weather impact forecast. Right now, you're taking a live look over downtown St. Louis. Another dry and warm October day. Meteorologist Jim Castillo is in for Scott tonight. And Jim, I see you over there. You're tracking some rain and a few thunderstorms tonight.
Yeah, I can tell you where that lightning that we saw right around really the Bond County and Clinton County line in Illinois. Right about here. Watch a couple of flashes there. So right up Interstate 70 from Greenville to Vandalia. Real quick shower, maybe a downpour, and now moving out of our viewing area, out of Fayette County and pushing into Effingham County. Widen out the shot. Look at this line of showers and storms toward Kansas City. Now, some of those have been severe. They have a little bit more instability and more dynamics going on in northwest Missouri. Once they push our way, they look to be weakening quite a bit, but still a chance of rain in here. And we've had 27 dry days in a row, or at least a trace or less of rainfall. If we get 0.01 in the rain bucket, we'll break that streak. So hoping for a little bit of rain tonight into tomorrow morning. And there it is. So spotty chances of that through Friday morning. Then it's a dry, cooler weekend. Windy next week and a chance of rain on Halloween. More on that in Maine weather.
Classes were canceled today at Central Visual and Performing Arts High School. Exactly 2 years ago, a former student opened fire inside of the school, killing a teacher and a student. 7 others were hurt that day. 5 on your side's Laura Brzezinski is just back from a visual honoring the victims. And Laura, we all remember that heartbreaking moment.
Brent, this is a very hard day for St. Louis, as many are still mourning the loss of student Alexandria Bell and teacher Jean Kuchka. Tonight at a vigil, the community honored their memory and supported those whose life changed forever that day. October 24th, 2022.
I want to acknowledge that this day is the second anniversary of the Central Visual Performing Arts shooting, where an armed intruder shot and killed Alexandria Bell and Jean Kuchka and wounded many others.
The day the lives of students and staff at Central Visual and Performing Arts High School and Collegiate School of Medicine and Bioscience changed forever.
It's a day that we will never forget, and let us honor Jean and Alexandria with a moment of silence. Thank you.
Emily Schiltz says her son and daughter were both students at Collegiate when the shooting happened, and it's still tough to go back into that building 2 years later.
Walking by the exact spot where Alex passed away is in a main hallway that she sees every day.
Her son is now in college, but he still struggles with the sounds of that day. She says they had to leave a play that involved gunshots.
He was fine later, but it's never gone, I guess, is the reality.
This tragedy inspired parents like Emily and others in the nearby church community of St. Margaret of Scotland to create a committee, Gun Sense for the Common Good.
My kids were victims in the sense of what they witnessed, but it could have been them. And every child deserves to come home alive at the end of the day, full stop.
The committee worked to offer free gun locks at church and advocates for change with other groups like Moms Demand Action. Emily says they also helped put together this vigil.
We can't forget to hold space for the pain and sadness. That is part of honoring what has been taken. Then we have to move forward, and we all have to find a way to say, no more. No more kids.
There are extra counselors available for students, and therapy dogs will be at school tomorrow for anyone who needs support.
Laura, thanks so much. A person of interest is in custody for the homicide of a Fort Leonard Wood soldier. Sergeant Sarah Roque was found dead in a dumpster on base Monday. Investigators have not said how the 23-year-old from Indiana died. The Army's Criminal Investigation Division, the FBI, and local law enforcement are all investigating. A man accused of killing a Metro East mother of 3 is found guilty of first-degree murder. Police arrested Roger Sutton Jr. last year, 10 years after Trina Butler Turner was reported missing. Her remains were found in Pontoon Beach back in 2022. The 40-year-old mother of 3 was beaten and strangled.
What came out today in the trial was that Trina's last words were, "Mama loves you," right before her life was taken so tragically. And I'm sure that meant a lot to her daughters and her son.
We're just overall just grateful, and I know my mama, we got the justice for you, mama. The long wait is over, and we've been representing for you, and we love you.
Sutton faces up to 67 years in prison. Well, it was day 3 of no excuse absentee voting today. Lines were out the door at some polling locations. You're taking a look now at the wait for the ballot box in Wentzville and in St. Peters. Volunteers tell us wait times in Clayton have been running close to an hour and a half every day. That's not stopping voters. Numbers have gone up since the first day of early voting. More than 18,000 people voted today in St. Louis County. That's more than 1,000 more people from yesterday and 3,000 more than the first day.
A warmth hit my chest so deep that a tear came to my eye that I have the freedom to vote. For the first time in my life, I just felt so excited.
For more information on all of the races, check out our voter guide on KSDK.com. You can text the word guide to 314-425-5355. Well, tonight, signs of progress in attracting more people to visit St. Louis. Recent upgrades at the Dome at America Center are helping lure big events. Next year is expected to be one of the biggest in a decade when it comes to conventions. You're looking at a Bands of America national event in Indianapolis last year. This weekend, the big event will attract 10,000 people at the Dome at America Center for a regional competition.
Oh, we like it here.
Tom and Kim Dewey traveled from Texas to see their grandson play.
It's a little colder than back home. It's 86 degrees at home right now.
As they enjoy the sights of the city, tourism officials are trying to get more people like them to visit and return to St. Louis. Another big draw, football.
New lights, new turf.
As the Battlehawks prepare to unveil their 2025 schedule, they're taking to social media, showing their approval of some $3 million in recent upgrades.
Colors all uniform. Yeah, it looks great.
It's just as good as pyrotechnics, right?
It's going to look great on TV. It's going to look great in person as well.
Brian Hall with Explore St. Louis tells me next year will bring the most conventions the city has seen in a decade.
We have some 254,000 room nights that are actually on the books now,
including the Church of God in Christ, and 2,500 people with a group called Meeting Professionals International.
These customers have unbelievable power when it comes to making site decisions for their meetings. So we have a chance to showcase St. Louis, to showcase the improvements at America Center.
City leaders know visitors aren't good for just selling the city, but they also give local businesses a big boost.
I think we're going to go to this Thai restaurant right down here they suggested.
That band competition begins tomorrow. Participants are staying in 5,000 local hotel rooms. Tonight, the Boys and Girls Club of Greater St. Louis marking the end of an era. The annual Great Futures Gala honored retiring president Dr. Flint Fowler. He's been with the organization for nearly 30 years, growing the program from 1 to 11 locations in our area. Today in St. Louis, anchor Rennie Knott served as MC at tonight's gala. Losing access, losing memories, and losing money.
It's just so sad.
Social media security, no match for cyber attacks.
You'll lose all of your content. You'll lose access to it.
Tonight, the I-Team helping you keep your account safe.
Only spotty showers and isolated thunderstorms will be around into Friday morning. Many areas staying dry. Also, I'll have that weekend forecast. Tonight, the FDA believes contaminated onions from a Colorado farm are the source of the McDonald's E. coli outbreak. One person died, nearly 50 others have gotten sick in 10 different states, including Missouri. Many of them reported eating contaminated quarter pounders. Some Taco Bell, KFC, and Pizza Huts have removed onions from their menus. Earlier today, the first lawsuit related to the outbreak was filed against McDonald's. Social media platforms have become a playground for scammers, leaving victims with devastating losses. Tech giant Meta, the owner of Facebook and Instagram, is at the center of this crisis. Tonight, the I-Team's Paula Vasson takes you inside a growing national outcry for justice.
Cindy Sills isn't your average social media user.
There we go.
As an IT director at a law firm, she understands online security.
I've become a nonstop security cop. That's what I call myself, because it's just never stops.
And for 6 years, she's also run 2 charities from her home in Florissant, using her love of Wonder Woman to help people with special needs.
Look how happy she is.
Bringing joy to children battling serious illness.
But that's what it was all about.
But last December, her world changed when scammers hijacked her personal account on Facebook, now owned by Meta, leaving her locked out of her charity pages.
It's just so sad.
Despite her 23-character password and 2-factor authentication.
As big as of a company that Facebook is, you would think that they would care about their people and that they would want to keep everybody safe.
Her story is shockingly common. A Reddit community called Facebook Disabled Me has 19,000 members, people from around the globe facing the same nightmare. We discovered some victims end up paying around $14 a month for Meta Verified, a service supposedly designed to protect accounts. But even after subscribing, many are still locked out.
that just kills me because they're purchasing something to get something back that they never should have lost to begin with.
Another online group with about 560 members has been pushing for class action lawsuits. The pattern is disturbingly familiar. Scammers take over accounts and rack up charges, and victims are left powerless.
How do you feel about the way that Facebook or Meta has responded to the situation?
They haven't. They haven't responded to it, and that's what's so frustrating.
It caught the attention of 41 attorneys general nationwide, including Illinois AG Kwame Raoul. They're demanding Meta take responsibility and implement stronger security measures to prevent account takeovers.
We have seen an uptick in phishing scams, social engineering scams.
Michael Schumack from Identity IQ, an identity theft protection company, warns cybercrime is skyrocketing. Research shows there have been more than 1.3 billion data breach victims in the U.S. so far this year, a 401% increase from the same time last year. A spike driven by more people linking their financial accounts. Schumack warns that once criminals gain access, it's often too late.
If they change an email or the phone number associated with that account, it's more than likely you won't gain access back to your account. So you'll lose all of your content, you'll lose access to it.
He tells the I-Team usernames and passwords are no longer strong enough. He urges the use of biometrics, like facial recognition and fingerprints, to log in.
If this happened to you, an IT director, what hope is there for the rest of us?
I don't know, honestly.
While lawmakers nationwide have voiced concern over a surge in account takeovers, Missouri's AG remains silent on the issue. And despite our multiple inquiries, Meta has not responded, reflecting business owners' frustrations. We'll keep pushing for answers. For the I-Team, Paula Vasan, 5 on your side.
We know you will, Paula. Time now for your weather impact forecast. And Jim, you heard that couple earlier visiting from Texas said it's cold here. There's a bit of chill in the air today.
Yes, and I can imagine they're from Texas, so more humid down there. You get this drier air that we've had in place. You get those cooler mornings, but really warm, nice afternoons. But with that dry air, it feels a little bit cooler. It's been trying to moisten up a little bit, and there's some thunderstorms out there. Look at Kansas City, all the way up west of Chicago. This is all lightning here, so it's really lighting up. And what we're watching in our area, we had a couple showers north St. Louis County, and then a few in Bond County, and then now pushing out toward Effingham. But all in all, right now, we're quiet. You got to widen out the shot to see western Missouri. That's all lightning and some heavy downpours from time to time. Severe weather, there was some around Kansas City, excuse me, but most of that is now just turning into a line of showers and storms that are not severe. And then they weaken further as they push our way. So north of Interstate 70, as we get into the overnight hours, that chance of rumbles of thunder more likely north of Interstate 70, but we have a chance of rain even around the metro all the way through the early morning hours, and then we'll clear up as we get into Friday afternoon. Severe weather threat, it's been in northern and northwest Missouri, and it's not expected in our area tonight. But if you get that rain, slippery roadways definitely going to be an issue. So we'll watch that overnight into tomorrow morning. All right, right now it's 69 degrees. High today 73. The average high is 66. We're above that right now. So, that was 7 degrees above average. So overnight lows tonight dropping down to about 61 in St. Louis. So a little bit milder night. Last night we were in the 40s. And as we get into Friday, 75 degrees, but then you get to Kansas City, 66. So we're getting some cooler air for this weekend coming up. So tomorrow, again, that morning shower chance, and then we clear up a little bit in the afternoon. It's a little bit breezy. And look at this weekend forecast, 66 for Saturday, 67, 68 on Sunday. And that is about average for this time of year. We go back up above average as we get into Monday and windy, 76. And look at those 80s for Tuesday and Wednesday. Yeah, 80s. Then on Halloween, a chance of rain. It looks like most of that rain right now. We'll see if that changes, and we'll watch it and update it before 5 p.m.
A bit of a dip and then climbing right back up, it seems.
Yes.
All right, Jim, thank you. We've got Corey standing by with sports.
Well, the Blues had their most impressive performance of the season against an old friend in Toronto, and playoff soccer, yes, you heard me right, playoff soccer rolls on in St. Louis. Stick around, sports is up next.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers, driving your way since 1942.
Pump it up here. We're here for a reason, because we're a hockey team, and we're going to come home with a cup here tonight. Let's go. Sonny, Bo, Perry, Benner. Let's go.
That is how Craig Berube will always be remembered here in St. Louis. He will forever be the coach who finally brought our town a Stanley Cup. Now Berube is trying to end another long championship dry spell in Toronto, and he faced his former Blues team for the first time tonight. There is Chief over on the Toronto bench, and St. Louis area native Joseph Woll is in goal for the Maple Leafs tonight. Blues didn't do either of them any favors. 5 minutes in, how good is this guy? Philip Broberg again, his second goal and 7th point of the season, 1-0 Blues. Then the second half of the offer sheet duo scores. Dylan Holloway's second goal as a Blue, 2-0. 2-1 in the second, and another newcomer lights the lamp. Alexander Texier gets his first goal as a Blue, 3-1. Jake Neighbors has a new contract extension and had a goal tonight. Sick move on the breakaway, 4-1. Jordan Binnington was amazing in this one. He came back home to Toronto a few days after the passing of his grandfather and put on a show. Benner stopped 40 of 41 shots to help the Blues win 5-1, and Jordan was thinking of his grandpa tonight.
Yeah, definitely was thinking of him. My mom's here and a lot of family here, so it's good to have some support. And it's always sad, right? But I know he loved watching the games, and you know, I got all the voicemails saved that he'd leave me, and when he's leaving me his thoughts.
One of the best games of this weekend's college football slate will take place in Eugene, Oregon. The number 20 Fighting Illini go on the road to take on the number 1 team in the country, the Oregon Ducks. You may remember Illinois has beaten a number 1 team on the road in the past 20 years. In 2007, Juice Williams, remember that name? He led the Illini over number 1 Ohio State in Columbus. This year's Illinois team is believing they can pull off the upset this week, and Brett Bielema has prepared his squad for an energized atmosphere.
I know it's not only going to be a loud crowd, it's going to be a very active crowd. They're on top of you. It's a bowl that really sits on top of you. You know, they got a duck on a bike, and they got all kinds of stuff. We're excited to play there, to go on the road and show the growth that we've had, hopefully, since Penn State. I know it's going to be probably the most energized and loud crowd that we've seen, probably literally maybe in my coaching career.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
We are still getting an October dose of playoff drama in St. Louis thanks to St. Louis City 2. The development team won their playoff opener at City Park last week thanks to an extra time goal from Makai Joyner. They'll try to stay alive in the playoffs this Sunday against San Jose's next pro team at home sweet home City Park, which figures to be rocking again.
We had 12,000 against Tacoma. You don't get that anywhere else.
We've talked about it, right? That the fans add a layer of pressure that the players need to develop. And I think you saw some of them maybe for the first time buckle under that a little bit. The weight of a playoff game, the tifo, you know, the fans really getting behind them, and all of a sudden you're like, you know, and so that's a learning experience.
SLU basketball is back in action with another exhibition tomorrow. They'll host Maryville at Chaffetz. The big man, Robbie Avila, will make his Billiken debut coming off an injury. SLU's first exhibition against Rockhurst wasn't always pretty, but it may have provided the team with a good first lesson of the season.
You know, we've made some progress this week. I thought last Friday was good for us in a number of ways. I thought, you know, coming out and you know, kind of getting punched them out the way we did was probably a positive. It wasn't fun going through it, but that's a part of this.
The first half, you know, everyone seeing it, you know, it's pretty. It wasn't, you know, how we wanted it to be, but, you know, when it was time to actually, you know, lock in and, you know, win the game, you know, we all did that.
High school football tonight, U City on the road at Jennings. Defensive battle early on. Robert Robinson gonna fly into the picture on this play. He gets the pick, and U City has the ball going the other direction. Another big play coming up on defense for the Lions later. They chase the Jennings QB all the way out of the back of the end zone. That's a safety. U City wins 12-8. We'll have a lot more high school highlights coming your way tomorrow at 10:15 on 5 on Your Sideline.
5 on Your Sideline.
Oh,
That's tomorrow. Corey, thank you much. We've got much more news still ahead. Thanksgiving dinner delivered right to your door. The meal that can serve the whole family without breaking the bank. Sam's Club is helping you put food on the table this Thanksgiving. The wholesale store is selling pre-cooked holiday dinners, feeding up to 10 people. It's $100. Sam says the meal can be delivered to members' homes in less than 2 hours. The Humane Society of Missouri let the dogs out to celebrate Halloween tonight. Barktoberfest at Urban Chestnut Brewing Company featured costume contests, including Best Owner, Pet Lookalike, and Most Creative. Prizes range from pet portraits to free blues tickets. Some bonding time with man's best friend.
I'd like to see the look-alike competition. I'm sure that was fun.
Right?
You know, they say if you spend a lot of time,
it happens.
What you got, Jim?
I agree with that. So tonight we're hoping for, a rain shower, maybe a rumble of thunder. Probably not everybody's going to see that, but we'll see if we get just even a little bit of rain in here. And tomorrow clearing up 75.
All right, we'll take it. Thank you, my friend. That's all of our time at 10, but remember, we're always streaming on 5+. Have a good night. We'll see you in the morning.